Mulaka is like a low-poly, Mexican-influenced indie version of the Legend of Zelda series. Its main focus is exploration, hack-and-slash combat, and puzzles based on getting past an obstacle. Developed by Lienzo, it was released on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch February 27, 2018 for $19.99 USD or your regional equivalent. Mulaka is a solid action-adventure game and an interesting departure both stylistically and genre-wise from the first game we covered by this studio, Hunter's Legacy, which has since made its way to console. While it won't blow you away, it's still a project with the heart of a warrior beating beneath its low-poly exterior. The game begins by detailing the deteriorating world and how you as its hero must join forces with animal guides of sorts in order to save it. This is all well and fine, but being bombarded by a lot of long alien names so suddenly didn't immerse me as a reader. I understand that the game has Mexican influences, but it has a habit of bouncing between kicking names around casually, as though you should already be familiar with them, and offering lengthy explanations in a way that isn't organic to gameplay. As such, it felt more like a history lesson than the outlining of a grand story. Mulaka takes place in an open world setting, where you're given a large area to run around in, but must access connected areas via the world map. In your arsenal are potions, a spear which is used as a close-range weapon and can also be thrown, and animal forms. The healing potions make your character do a kind of rain dance, which was neat at first, until I realized that it froze me in place while I was healing. This meant I was a sitting duck during combat, which may not seem like a big deal at first until you realize that in most combat situations you are surrounded. The animal forms are neat, but nothing to write home about. You'll unlock a total of 4 over the course of the game. Combat can be really frustrating, which is a shame considering it's the bulk of gameplay. Smaller targets go easily under your blows, making it so that they can retaliate without fear of being killed, and I found that I had to run in circles, swinging wildly to deal with a common scorpion enemy. Flying enemies are worse, as you only have a split second to target them with your spear, and if you miss, there are a few seconds cooldown before you can try again. The odds are always stacked against you, meaning you're trying to defeat multiple enemies at once. Because blows are so floaty and imprecise, defeating waves becomes a chore. This game would definitely benefit from a lock-on system, particularly for small and airborne enemies. The world may seem large, but it is also empty. NPC characters don't have particularly fascinating tidbits to share, and though they may provide background noise and carry on with their lives, towns and settlements are few and far in between. While you're wandering the primarily deserted landscape, there are only enemies and the occasional pheasant to behold. Sometimes you'll find collectibles, which simply serve as additional information about the way the world works, and jars containing karimas, the game's currency. Otherwise, you'll be searching for the 3 shards to unlock the gate to the next area and slashing your way through enemies. This task is made easier by activating your Tsukurame vision, which works just like Assassin's Creed's Eagle Vision and allows you to scout out points of interest in addition to revealing enemy HP bars. It also has other uses during context-specific fights. There are also some simple puzzles that won't have you scratching your head for very long. Where combat really shines is the boss fights, which lead me to question why the developer didn't follow the influences of games where you only ever face off against behemoths, like Jotun. The combat in between boss fights may have you mashing the buttons and struggling to enemies, but bosses are large enough so the aiming isn't an issue. They also require a measure of strategy as they have their own gimmicks and they get stronger as their health drops. You'll need to use all of your skills in order to defeat them. Unfortunately, even these fights subscribe to the same cheap shots as others, sticking neat shields on you that must be dealt with almost instantaneously, lest they get in your way and open you up to attacks from the boss. Again, frustrating. Final verdict? So-so. Mulaka does what it sets out to do, but not in a particularly polished or memorable way. It's worth a shot if you're curious, but keep in mind that the cons outweigh the pros. That's all from me, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Dawn from Needtoknow. Stay in the know.